How to start an online product selling business. I know a lot of you guys are looking up videos about that with a lot of other gurus. The things that they're saying are true. The problem is they're having you do it when it doesn't make sense to do those things yet. And in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how I've started selling products on the internet and what order it makes sense to do those things. Let's dive in. All right, I started becoming an internet entrepreneur about 8 years ago before it was cool. And the way I create products now versus how I did it then is totally different. I can remember huge successes as well, with the majority of them being massive crash and burns. There were some patterns though in what types of products were profitable to sell on the internet and what types of products were not. In this video, I'm gonna show you 5 ways to make your product really, really profitable. All right, let's go for it. I have 3 beautiful little daughters. They're so fun, little girls. We were at the grocery store and we were buying something, I can't remember what it was. Food, we have a pizza night every few weeks. It's really fun. And I noticed, obviously, just like everywhere, there's a grocery bagger at the end of the checkout. And I thought about this. I was like, wait a second, this grocery bagger is getting paid, obviously. But do grocery baggers get paid a lot of money? No. Why? Well, they're working hard, but I'm working hard, right? Just because they're working hard doesn't mean that they should be making a lot of money. Wait, why? Isn't that really fascinating? It's fascinating because what you have to understand about your product is that the types of problems that you solve is what basically dictates how much money you make. Right? I was at an event, it was one of my events, I was standing up and I said, hey, who here works really hard? Raise your hand. And everyone raised their hand. Everyone works hard. I said, keep your hand raised if you're filthy rich. Most of the hands went down. I said, wait, so working hard is not how you make money. How do you make money then? You make money by solving big problems. And so if you're trying to figure out what type of product to put on the internet, profitability tip number 1, you have to know what problem you're solving. If you just come up with like, this is a great product idea, but you have no idea what problem you're solving, you're already dead in the water. All right, the best products solve legitimate problems. There's a direct correlation to the type of problem you solve and how much money you make. You want to make more money? Solve more valuable problems. Was the grocery bagger solving a problem? Yes. Was it a valuable problem? Not really. Right? It's not that valuable of a problem. Does that make sense? That's not always the case, but most of the time it is. And so what I need you to do is start thinking, hey Steve, I'm gonna go sell a product, or I'm thinking about this type of product line over here. Is that a good idea? First of all, if I'm not your customer, don't ask me, right? You shouldn't care about my input. Second of all though, if you don't know what problem you're solving, and if it's not a valuable problem to the person you wanna solve, don't make it and don't sell it. That right there is why I believe I failed for my first 5 years, okay? My first 5 years. It's not that I didn't have any successes, but they really weren't that amazing, all right? It's because I kept making cool products tied to no problem. I just thought it was a cool product. Big, big, big issue, big classic mistake of brand new internet entrepreneurs. All right, profitable product tip number 2. Guys, you gotta design profits ahead of time or you're not gonna make any money. Really interesting thing happens when you start making money and you have no plan for it, or it's just sitting there and you're like, it just leaves. It finds a home. Same thing is true when you're selling a product and you did not design profitability ahead of time. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I learned this from Russell Brunson when I was his funnel builder at ClickFunnels, and before I came and built the Suite Studio. We would sit down and we would make sure that every single product that we were putting out there, the main core ones, that there was a 30 to 40% profit margin in them. Okay, so for example, if I was selling something that was $1,000, there was $300 to $400 of pure profit in there. Now, there's been some people who've gotten really mad that I say that, and they're like, that's a crazy markup. No, it's not. You know that most water bottle companies mark those things up? Their water bottle is marked up usually 1,000 to, I've heard, up to 8,000% markup. That's crazy. You understand? That's nuts. Capitalism rules, right? Capitalism is amazing. If you have internal hang-up over making money, it's not because what I'm teaching you is wrong, it's because you have an internal money hang-up and you need to redefine your relationship with cash. All right, that's really what's going on. So you have to design these ahead of time. I learned that from Russell. Design it profitable ahead of time. Figure out exactly how much it's gonna cost. If you don't design profits, you're just not gonna have them. All right, let's dive into profitable product tip number 3. There's certain types of rap I just love. All right, and one of my favorite rap artists, this happened like 2 weeks ago, me filming this here with you now, he's been dripping out little tiny parts of his album. And I was like, this album rocks. But it wasn't an album, it was just a song. It's like, gosh, this one song he put out, where's the rest of the album? Have you ever experienced that? Or you'll see the way Hollywood does that, right? Hollywood will come out in a year before there's ever a movie, right? You're sitting in a movie theater, the previews come on, which I love the preview. If I miss the previews, I don't even want to watch the movie, right? If you might be the same way. But I sit down, I'm sitting there in the previews, right? And what does Hollywood do? A year before the movie's out, coming next summer, right? And that's it, right? And they have 12 months from now, that's it. 12 months, something is coming out, that's all. But what they're doing is they're getting you excited, they're helping you understand that something's on the way, and they build anticipation kind of like a ramp, right? So profitable product tip number 3, you have got to create demand. The biggest mistake I see with good products is that someone finishes it on Tuesday and they launch it on Wednesday. You got to cut that crap out, right? I have so many products that are done that we have not released because I've not created the ramp. Launch Like Hollywood, launch like that rapper I was talking about. He put out a few songs over the last few months, and then all of a sudden his album went out, and on day one there were millions of listens on Spotify. It was crazy. It was amazing to watch it happen, okay? But that is the difference between an entrepreneur and a marketer. An entrepreneur creates the product, a marketer figures out how to sell it and create demand for it, okay? So that's what I need you to do. Figure out how to create demand. Figure out how to create anticipation and excitement. Do what Hollywood does. Launch like Hollywood. 12 months doesn't need to be that far out, all right? The point is, before they can have it, you start talking about it. Before they can have it, you start trying to sell it. You build up that pressure, and what happens 6 months before Hollywood releases their product or movie, right? They put out a preview, and it's about the protagonist, right? 3 months later, it's a preview about the antagonist, right? 2 weeks beforehand, they send all the actors on tour and all the Tonight shows and the evening shows and like, hey, let's watch what you say. Check out this film, folks, this weekend, box office seats, right? It's not like box office happens 2 weekends, it's only one weekend. But they spend a lot of time building pressure, anticipation, and excitement towards the release of it. That right there is one of the biggest reasons why my 46 successes happened in a row. I got good at that. All right, guys, before diving into the last 2 tips, please subscribe if you like this stuff. I stayed up till 1 a.m. writing this script for you. Did you know that? I'm bleeding for you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. I'm over here working my capital's butt off for you. Let me know, feel some love down in the comments. Profitable product tip number 4, sell. I had one of my mentors reach out to me. His name's Alex Sharf, and he's got a super deep voice. And he's like, brother, I was like, what? He's like, you gotta track all of your time in 15-minute increments. He's like, track all your time in 15-minute increments and figure out exactly what you've been spending your time on. And I was like, that sounds boring as crap. There's no way I'm doing that. And eventually convinced me to do it. And I went through several weeks of tracking everything I was doing in 15-minute increments, and we tallied it up. And what we found out is that I had all these amazing, great products that were out, that were selling. But one of the reasons why our revenue was low at that point is because I was spending 15% of my time marketing and selling. The other 85% of my time was being spent on management and admin tasks and what color is a freaking logo. That crap doesn't matter, right? If you are going to be selling a profitable product, literally you have to put on the salesperson hat, right? Once the product is over, there's nothing greater you can do than to take off the entrepreneur hat. Our society loves entrepreneurship, which is awesome, but just stop being an entrepreneur at some point. In your business, stop. Take off the entrepreneur hat, which is all about how to solve a product, right? Solve a problem and build a product. You have to put on the marketing and salesperson hat, and 80% of your time should be focused on selling, right? That's gonna feel hard at first if you've never practiced that. But it's quite simply the easiest way to make a lot of money is to spend most of your time in the act of selling and closing leads. Hey guys, for tip number 5 here, it actually relates to number 4. If you are the one doing everything in your business, you are the business. You don't have one. Okay? When I was in college, they kept asking, hey Steve, what is a business? And I'm not gonna lie, there was like some weird esoteric, the business has a soul answer I was supposed to give. None of that's true. All right, the reality is that a business is a series of systems that creates a lead, sells some of them, and fulfills. That's it. It's a set of 3 systems. And until you have those 3 systems, you're the business. You need a series of systems to create a lead, sell some of them, and fulfill. Right? And you will never rise above it. You're never going to be an owner, you're never going to be a CEO if you don't actually create those systems. So just keep that in mind. If you're like, I am dying and starving in my business, oh my gosh, there's so much to do 24/7. The problem is you're the business. You don't have one. You're the series of systems. And so you're never going to be released of it. Okay? So profitable products come from you being able to not just learn how to sell it, obviously, but you got to create a system that starts to do it for you. Hey guys, on that note, I got a free gift here for you. It's called Funnel Skills. It's a free 5-part mini course. Go to ofasignup.com, and what it is, it'll show you how to start setting up those systems, those skill sets that actually help you sell on the internet very, very naturally and easily and start to ascend above being the company yourself. Go to ofasignup.com, it's free.